Okay. Okay, so this assignment is just similar to one. Similar lang nung unang assignment. The first problem. So what we need to do is to come up with the system that we could identify the forces. So for example here, so as you can see, this one is y-axis. Take note that going here is positive. Here also is positive. And then going up is also positive. Z, you have y, x is towards us, and then z going up. Okay. So looking at the free body diagram, so you have this one, FC, FB. You have going this one, FC, FD, FB, and going down as the weight. So as you can see here, FB, where is FB? This one is going to x-axis. FB, I, yi because it's notation for vector. So we have x, y, z. And vector, this is I, j, and then k. So we write I for us to know that this is along x-axis. And this is for us to know that we are using vector notations. So next, for FC, the force, okay, for FC, you have here for I, which is the x-axis here, is just 120 degrees, okay? See this one, 120 degrees from this x-axis. So to know or to compute for the x component, you just have to multiply FC times cosine 120 because that is adjacent, okay? FC cosine 120, it's I. Going towards in this direction, okay, going towards us, here. So that means this is positive. Okay. Then you have here for J, okay, where's J? I, J, K, or Y, okay. The angle is, okay, given is 135 here, see? From here, going here, okay. From here, going here, that arrow. It's 135. And since it's going here, okay, the axis is going here, 135, we can use cosine positive, okay? Cosine 135 because we take the angle of 135, okay? 135 is referred from this axis, so it's positive. And then cosine 60 along K component, what is K component? This is Z component, it's clear, it's here. 60 going here. So it's just FC cosine 60. All cosine because it's adjacent to the side of the component. Okay, so we can simplify by this equation. Now FD is being given by dimensions. Okay, so obviously we have here FD multiply. We have this formula before in our first example. This is not 2. Okay, this is square root. Okay, square root of -1. Where's this -1? This one, oh? -1. It's negative because it's going in opposite. This is the positive. Opposite that one is negative. Here is negative. Okay. -1, I, and then you have plus 2j, y positive for j or y, this one. This is j. The distance is 2. So meaning that is positive. And then 2k going up, which has a distance of 2 going up. So it's positive 2k. Now, the hypotenuse distance of this force A to D, this A to D, the hypotenuse distance is just the square of -1, the square of 2, and then the square of another 2. This is the one. 1, 2, and then another 2. So we can have this equation. And then W, as you can see here, this W, which is equal to 981. Negative 981 because it's going down. Positive is here, going up. This one is now going down, it's negative. So we can further simplify. So meaning we add FB, FC, FD, and then W. Okay, we have. Okay, so once we add that, we just copy negative this one, we copy because this one is for FC. Of course, FB, it's here, FBI. So we copy it here, FC, and then FD, it's also here. And then W. Once copying it, after copying, we combine those which has I, meaning along X axis or I component or X component, this one. So we can have this, okay? We have this one for X, okay? For X or I. Where's this one? FB, this one FBI, 0.5, this one FC, and then another this one, okay? Also for Y or those with J, this one you have 2, and then FC, and then FD. Okay, FCFD, this is for Z or for K. We combine, we just combine, including all the signs, okay, equate to 0. So, okay, so here, we can express FC in terms of FD. See here, equation 2 for FD in terms of FC. So we have here, we can substitute, we can compute here actually FC in terms of FD. We just transpose negative 0.7707 will become positive, and then we can compute, okay? And then if once we compute FC in terms of FD, we can substitute it here in the equation 3. This is on equation 3. It's here. See, this one is FC. We can substitute FD. In other words, here we can compute FD, which is equal now to 862. And then you have FC is 813, and then the rest. Okay, so I will just check your assignment that you have submitted, and I'll just give feedback. Anyway, this is just the same with the previous example. Okay, so I think we only have 3 students. Oh, Sir Ruben, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Magandang hapon sa lahat.
Magandang hapon sa lahat. Okay. Sana kaya iba? Sige, continue na lang natin. Start na tayo sa kwan. Check ang attendance ha, Sir Chris, Sir Dennis. Okay lang ba kayo?
Okay lang, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so I'll continue with my discussion. So we'll formally start with our discussion now on friction, okay? So we are done with forces and equilibrium. Now we are on friction. So simply friction is the opposing force to the movement of a body. That is because the surface may be rough, and the contact between the surface and a certain body, this surface and then this body, is being described by a coefficient of friction. So the surface is, meaning the coefficient of friction is lesser. You have a bigger coefficient of friction if you have a rough surface, meaning there's a big opposing force. So meaning if your body here with a weight of W will move to a certain direction to the right, then the friction force is going to the left. And then of course, there's a normal reaction that is dependent to the weight of the body. This normal reaction is always perpendicular to the plane. In other words, if you have inclined, as we discussed earlier in the first meeting, We have free body diagram. We have your W. For example, the normal reaction now N is coming here, which is always perpendicular to the plane. And if this is the plane has an angle of theta, it follows that the normal force, then okay, the normal force is always with an angle of theta, which is exactly this angle of inclination with respect to this vertical axis. Okay, so if this is the body, and then normally, of course, the body will move downward. So here, the frictional force is here. But if there is a force being applied going here, it will be a different case. Okay. Basically, this is the concept of the friction. There's the weight. There's the P, or the force that causes the body to move in different direction. And then, of course, there's always a friction force in the direction opposite to the movement. Okay. So, what is the relationship of the forces? So, as you can see here, theta, or the coefficient of friction, is always and refer to the normal force. So taking consideration into this forces, as you can see here, this W, this is normal, and this is F because it's opposite direction. Your P is going to the right, so basically your F is going to the left. And if we are going to form a triangle, this is the same as F, okay? And by the trigonometric functions, you can have tangent theta, okay, is equal to the opposite, which is F, and then N. And then tangent theta has the relationship equal to coefficient of friction. So in other words, you can have this relationship, or you can equate here. It's always that your force, the frictional force, of course, when you equate it here, this is the coefficient of friction, is always directly proportional to your normal force. In other words, your frictional force is proportional to the normal force, okay? Again, your frictional force is directly proportional to your normal force. The heavier is your weight, which is equal to N in this case, the bigger is your frictional force also. Now, depending on the coefficient of friction or the contact between two bodies, if this one is big, if your coefficient of friction is big, your frictional force is also big. If your weight is big, your frictional force is also big. Okay? So, meaning they are always directly proportional. Okay? It will be difficult for you. You will need a bigger value of your P for you to push or for you to pull a certain block, especially if your F or coefficient of friction is also big. Okay? Much more if your weight is also big, because it's directly proportional. And in this case, P is equal to F. Okay? So let's move on. There are some laws of friction that you have to take note, which I already discussed. I just want you to visit our slides. Okay, just visit the slides and try to read it and understand what I have discussed is all in the slides. Okay, so problem number 1. By the way, before we start, any clarification? Okay, silence means no. No clarification. No question, okay? Okay. All right, thank you. So you have here a 400 kilonewton block is resting on a rough horizontal surface. Rough horizontal surface. When you say rough, meaning there is friction. Okay? 400 kilonewton block. Okay? So, the angle of the coefficient of friction here F is equal to 0.4. In other words, this 0.4 will tell the contact between this block and then this surface. Okay. Now determine the force P required to cause motion to impede or to move. Okay. So what will be force here or maybe going here? It's up to you. Anyway, that would be the same. Okay. First, horizontally. The other one, if it has a angle of 30 degrees, let us say like this one. All right. First question and second question, you have first horizontal, B with a 30 degrees. Actually, this is the figure already. Okay. As you can see here. Now, okay. So this is our figure. So the question, what is the value of P? Okay. So from the figure itself, it's easy because we can compute P if we have F. Okay. And then we know that tangent what is equal to F over N, which is also equal to F. So that's why we have this one. Okay. F is equal to 0.4. We have this one as what I have already explained. Okay. So therefore, when N is 400, we just substitute F or coefficient of friction is 0.4. Then we can compute F is equal to 160. Therefore, summing of forces horizontal, it's easy. It's very clear. P is equal to F. So therefore, P is equal to F, which is equal to 160 kilonewton. Okay. How about when the P is downward at 30 degrees? Okay. So what is the value of P? So the same. We just have to sum up. Okay. What is N? This time, N has 400 kilonewton downward, and then P also has going here. Okay. Or it's similar here, which is just cosine, or no, sine 30. Okay. This part is just P sine 30. Ano? P times sine 30. Okay. So this is the one. Okay. And going up, summation force is vertical. Okay. Going up as positive equal to going down also. And going up, okay, good afternoon, Ms. Precious. We have just started with our first problem. Okay, so you have 400 kilonewton also, the weight of the block going downward. So we can have this relationship, okay? We can have this relationship. We don't know P, okay? But then from here, we know, okay, F is equal to, what is this? When we sum up forces horizontal. When we sum up forces horizontal, what are the forces? F, and then P. So you have here F, okay, is equal to, F is going to the right, and then here, P cosine 30, which is already this one, okay? And then we have the relationship earlier that I have mentioned, F, okay, is equal to N over F. Oh, no, F over N, I should say. Okay, that's why F is equal, that's why F is equal to coefficient of friction times N. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay. You have here P cosine 30, this one, we just copy it here. And then F, coefficient of friction, which is 0.4. And then N, which is taken from here, okay? We just substitute it here. P sine 30 plus 400 kilonewton. Therefore, we can compute P is equal to 240 kilonewton. Okay, and a question. I want you to, okay, I want you to visit your classroom. There is Okay, visit your classroom. I want you to answer exercise number 1. As you can see here, okay, in your classroom, week 3 activity, okay? Week 3 activity, week 3 activity 1, okay? Click this one and then answer it, okay? You can just answer here, write the answer with your phone or with the laptop itself, okay? So the question is, okay, you can see the question there. This is your activity 1, okay? I'll give you 10 minutes to compute for this activity, please. The question is the 500 kilonewton. 500 kilonewton. Here is 500 kilonewton. Block, 500 kilonewton block. Shown is in contact with 45 degrees incline. This is the 45 degrees incline. The coefficient of static friction is 0.25. It's given. This is F, okay? Small f. Compute the value of horizontal P. What is this P? Necessary to just start the block up the incline. So you just have to start the block up. Okay. So meaning without this force P, it is the friction force is coming here. Okay. So consider this F. Of course, your N is over here. Okay. And this is theta. This is also 45. Just for you to be reminded. Just prevent, meaning first start up the block. You want to move this going up. Okay. You want to move going up. What is the friction force here? You have to think about it. Letter B, just to prevent motion down the incline. If you just want to prevent the block in moving in the incline downward, so the force may be here. Okay. Then you have, if P is given for a kilonewton, what is the amount of the direction of the force? Or you just have to compute that maybe R, or resultant friction force. Okay. So I want you to answer this one. I'll give you 10 minutes. Okay. I want you to visit, click the classroom, this activity 1, okay? Just click this one, please. 10 minutes.